right, we've got a great question from Jen here about how often to do the urine test, allergy test or not with that. Okay, it is possible for people to have mold allergies. Okay, usually those symptoms are going to be respiratory in nature, sneezing, wheezing, coughing, and your regular medical doctor can do an allergy test for you or go to someone that does that specializes in allergies, because if you do have a mold allergy, you need to know that because you need to get in a clean space. But most people, mold toxicity is very different than a mold allergy. Mold toxicity is when we have the buildup of mycotoxins in our body and we become mold factories because there's literally fungus colonizing in our sinuses and in our gut from breathing it in from home all the time. So those two things are a little different. The allergy test, you can do it if you're having the respiratory issues, but people that are mold toxic, it's not an allergy, it's a toxicity. Okay. Now your first part was how often to do the urine test. If when I've done the foundational work with a client, we're worked on pooping and liver and bile flow, and maybe we used herbs or homeopathics and things to get their body stabilized and drainage working. And now we're going after mycotoxins with the purpose of lowering them as quickly as we can. I'll test every 3 months with them because we'll go 90 days because I want to see what's happening. And with mycotoxin detox, you may see, if it's timed right, you will see a spike very often in mycotoxins. Okay, so for example, with our son, Isaac, what was his? He was, maybe around his ochratoxin A that we were working on was maybe around 50, and then we tested it later and it was 107. And it made no sense to me at the time because he was my son, he was patient number 1. This is when I was learning this, right? And I was like, why was it high? But the reason it was high because we were allowing his body now to detox and let go of that mycotoxin. So it was good that it was high because it meant more was coming out of his body. I knew he wasn't getting any more exposure. So the fact that it went up was a good thing because the body was dumping, and then it spiked and then it came crashing down. Okay. So that's what you want to see. But when I am actively working in a protocol, because we want to see what those mycotoxins are doing. Are they doing initial bump and the person's out of exposure? And that's a good thing. But over time, we need to see them going down. But 90 days lets you know if what you're doing is working. Okay. You need to see, you need to understand why the numbers are doing what they're doing, and you need to watch them, because if something's not working, maybe we need to pivot on binders or do something a little different. So I do 90 days when we're specifically working them down. And then once you see it's down far enough, like you can see a trajectory down, then you can stretch that out to maybe 6 months or so as you know that you have things under control and you're just trying to finish them off. All right. I hope that helps, Jen.
Do you have questions about mold in your home or body? Book a consultation with Matt, aka the Mold Man, to guide your home and body to the next level of healing.